Today, guys, we're going to do something special, hence the different hat. We are going to look at 5 times that Cold Steel absolutely destroyed the competition, Combat Knife Edition. Yeah, this might be a multiple video thing. Let's turn this around and get cracking into it because there's a lot to cover. You guys saw the title, you see them here. I'm going to talk to you about 5 times that I think Cold Steel just destroyed the competition when it comes to combat knives. And we're going to start with this one right here, the Cold Steel SRK. So I want to start this by saying all the knives, with the exception of one, are still available, and I will have links down below for them. This is the Cold Steel SRK. Now, I have had this knife for a very long time. I carried this a lot. It was an issued item to me. So this one is done in carbon V steel. These are really, really comfortable. You're looking at about a 10.75 overall length, 10.75 inch overall length, with a clip point blade. It's got a polymer handle. The nice thing about these handles, Cold Steel's handles have been amazing for a long time. This one's nice and contoured. It is oil resistant. This has been covered with diesel fuel and all kinds of other things. It's been a camp knife, a field knife. It has been sharpened down quite a bit over the years. But the nice thing about these handles is, even though this is full tang, these polymer handles, they call them Kraton, it absorbs most of the shock. You can chop with these knives all day. If you watch the video about the Recon Scout, which is a knife we'll see a little bit later, you heard me talk about that where I did the testing. This thing is absolutely awesome. The carbon V steel on this was great. Now, this has been issued to a lot of maritime units over the years. It is a marine search and rescue knife. It's got a black coating on it. I absolutely love this. I will say carbon V steel does rust, but this has held up immensely well over the years. It got borrowed. Somebody pulled it through a pull through, but it's a very, very comfortable, very well built everyday knife that you can use for so many scenarios. And like I said, you don't have to worry about babying it. You can just knock it around, beat it around. Comes with a really nice sheath that has good retention. Now, the new ones are done. This is just a nylon sheath. The new ones are done in our Securex. Not a fan of that, but not much has changed on this knife over the years. This is still an American made version. The newer ones are made in Taiwan. So that's that one. That's the SRK. Like I said, I will have links to these down below. This one's coming in right now on Blade HQ at about $50. So like I said, I'll have a link for it down below. So this one is a recent addition to my collection. This is the Cold Steel R1 Military Classic. This is based on the old original Randall Model 1 through 7 fighting knife that has been around since World War II. This is an incredibly good knife. So these were originally, this is the discontinued one. These were originally about $240 to $330, anywhere in that range, depending on where you would pick them up. That was the MSRP versus the sale price. It's done in San Mai. This is an incredibly comfortable knife. Beautiful micarta, handles completely impregnable. San Mai 3 steel. Now, I did a video about San Mai steel. In case you want to see that, you can catch that video up here. It is an amazing knife, and the material on it is great. I personally find VG1 San Mai to be a very, very good, very reliable material. The ergos on this knife are amazing. I did look up some of the techniques for fighting with this knife. It's not something that's taught anymore, and a lot of times this was the preferred grip that you would use for a knife like this. Comes with this beautiful sheath. Now, this was one of the ones that's made in Seki City, Japan. And all of those Seki City knives came with incredible sheaths. I have a couple other knives that were made in Seki City that are just incredible. Sheath on this is beautiful. It's an easy carry. This is a knife that I wish they had not discontinued. This is a very, very viable. I find it to be better than the Randall Model 1 that it's based off of. I know that's a very polarizing opinion considering how good Randall knives are. I'll do a video about that in the future, but this thing is just perfectly balanced. Just a great showing of a true combat knife from a company that just killed it in the tactical fixed blade realm for a lot of years. So there you go. The R1 Military Classic, probably the best version of a quintessential fighting knife you're gonna find. This next one is an amazing knife. This is the Black Bear Classic. This is designed off of a design that Robert Lovelace made of his sub-hilt double-edged fighter. We're going to talk about something real quick. This is going to be a little bit long. This is a custom-made sheath that came with this knife. We're going to move this off to the side, but I just wanted to point this out because it needs to be recognized. It is made by a guy named Michael Spangers. Spirit of the Bear. You can reach him here. You can check him out on Instagram, Spirit of the Bear. If you're looking for custom leather work, that would be who I would ask to get something done for a tactical knife. He really knows what he's doing. So, any rate, this is based off of a Robert Lovelace sub-hilt fighter. The cool thing about this is, as you can see, this is technically a double-edged dagger-style blade. Hollow ground from the spine, from the center spine all the way down, but in a drop point fashion. So with this sub hilt, you have a secondary hilt, a sub hilt coming down. So you're completely behind the guard, but you can really keep and maintain good control of this. Your finger stays in here. Everything about this softened, nice, beautiful micarta on this, pin construction, full tang all the way down from that spine. This is an incredible knife. You can pierce with it. You can draw cut. When I was talking about getting behind up into the choil on that previous knife, the R1, this is the same thing. You can stab in low and come up with a drawing cut up on the spine. You can still slash. You can do back cuts. This thing is a devastating weapon. A lot of weight in the handle on that, if that's something you like. It gives it a unique balance in hand. I don't know if I'm a fan of it. There's a knife coming up in a second that we're going to look at that is one that I prefer, but just an amazing construction. This thing is available. This is currently available. These are $269 on Blade HQ currently for this version in the San Mai. But the cool thing is, hang on just a second, the next knife is something you may dig if you like this one. And this is the Cold Steel OSS. Now, we transitioned from that last knife to this one because Cold Steel for years has done this. They have two different knives at drastically different price points, but for all intents and purposes, they're the same knife. They did it with the R1, with the ODA. You can no longer get that. But they do this knife in a different set of materials that is much more affordable. This knife is $200 less than the Black Bear Classic, but what you've got is pretty much the same knife. Now, mine does not have the fancy leather sheath. I'm using this Curex. As you can see, this is why I don't like Curex, scratch them up. But this is every bit as good, and in my opinion, for me, a little bit better than the Black Bear Classic. This has got the weight forward like I like. It is still full tang construction, but you've got this Kraton polymer handle that does not slip, no matter how slippery and wet your hands are. You've got the double edge blade, hollow grind, almost identical to the last knife. Super sharp, takes a clean edge. It is done in AUS 8 steel, which I know a lot of people are right now going, AUS 8, that's a horrible steel. It never was good. Cold Steel for years has maximized what you can get on the heat treat for what would be considered substandard materials. AUS 8 on this is no exception. This has held up incredibly well. I did a lot of stuff with it. As a matter of fact, I just had to do a tip repair on this because I was doing a lot of stuff with this I did not expect it to do, and it just screamed through everything I was going to do with it. This thing is incredible. If you're looking for proof of the viability of this knife, there is a video where a guy killed a Cape buffalo with this to save his father's knife, with this exact knife. Super good. I love the sub-hilt design. I love how grippy these handles are. I love the weight distribution. This is one of my favorite knives, and like I said, these are coming in right at $70 on Blade HQ versus the $269, $270, like $200 less than the last one. So let's move on to the last knife. So I saved this one for last because two reasons. It's the most expensive one, but it is also kind of one that bridges the gap. This is not just a combat knife. This is the Recon Scout in 3V. Now, the fact of the matter is this did not come to me with the regular sheath. You're not going to see it. This is another Spirit of the Bear sheath set up for right hand small little back carry with a spot for a stone, as you can see. Spirit of the Bear is making great stuff. But I think that this is the best all-around combat and camp knife you're going to find. This thing has got it where it counts. You're not going to break this. It is massive. If you watch the video, I will see if I can put another video link up here. that I did of testing this knife, it held up incredibly well. Full handguard, full hilt, coffin style-esque handles that are done in the Kraton, full tang, and this thing, not only is it brutal when you look at how thick it is, but it comes down to such a good clean edge. Sharpened swedge, so you can do a back cut, but you can also use that for small tasks, scraping, things like that. You could probably split some stuff with that. I did a lot of batoning with this. It is amazing at that. It has got a very good, super good weight tip forward feel. Now, this one is coming in at $330, but you got to remember, you're getting so much for that. This is possibly, I think, one of the best cold steel knives they've made when you look at just all around. Super good piercing tip, even though it's good and thick. This, like I said, this sharpened swedge brings that down to an acute tip. I did do a lot of things that I thought might damage that tip, not a scratch. I did so many things with this that I thought was going to damage the edge. No chance. This thing is still screaming sharp, has not failed. 3V is a little prone to some corrosion, but I will say if you use something like KPL Blade Shield, you're not going to have any issues. I haven't had any issues with it. I typically rust steels like this. I think this is possibly the best all-around knife that Cold Steel has made in their fixed blade line. This thing is amazing. A lot of people are like, oh, I want the full trip. This is so much more manageable a size. It's getting a little bit more time because of all the knives I've hard tested, chopping, batoning, and done things with, I think that this has performed the best out of any knife, hands down, that I've had on the channel. So, like I said, I'll try to put another link to that video up. You probably already saw it if I can. Guys, let's turn this around, do some final thoughts on this already little bit long video. So yeah, guys, I honestly think that the Recon Scout in 3V is probably the best fixed blade knife all around that Cold Steel has made. It's not too big. It's in the right proportions. You could carry this combat ready, use it as a camp knife. It's an amazing, amazing camp knife. You saw the testing video of things that I would do in a camp scenario with this, the batoning and all that stuff. Even though this R1 is currently my favorite daily carry fixed blade, it is on my waist every day as it is right now, I still think that this Recon Scout absolutely beats it. So with that being said, guys, keep in mind, these videos take a lot to put together. I have all these knives in from different people. Some of them are mine. It takes a lot to get these videos put together, not to mention the editing. So I would appreciate it if you just dropped a like on the video, shared it with somebody you think would enjoy it. That definitely supports the channel. If you want to support the channel financially, I have two sponsors, Coffee Brand Coffee and Tempered Trail. They have a coupon, a discount code built into them when you use those links. Check them out. Coffee Brand Coffee is a guilt-free purchase because they do not support any causes and they have a 100% money-back guarantee. Tempered Trail is doing almost indestructible laces for your hiking boots, kilties, hand-stitched leather wallets, so check them out. I also have a coupon code, it's crazy sharp, all one word, that you can use at Rosecraft Blades or Farm Forge Knife Works. I also have an Amazon store down below. Take that, pin it to your browser, use it for any Amazon shopping you're going to do. It doesn't cost you anything at checkout, supports the channel. And the best way you can support the channel for me is to join my membership. It's all tier-based. All of the members have access to my private chat server, just like Discord. It's called Gilded. I do exclusive content for all of the members. Everyone gets early access to every video as soon as I get it posted. Baseline and premium guys are entered into giveaways that I do on the Gilded server, and the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube behind that paywall. Guys, that's it on this one. Already a long video. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.